If you own a Tesla or you're thinking of buying a Tesla, one thing we keep asking ourselves is our Tesla going to drive itself?
Full self-driving. Right now, that's a $10,000 option. And we think it's not worth that, like, at all. So let's talk about that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Chima, how are you liking your new Model Y?
I mean, it's dope. I like the car. I like it a lot. I'm happy I did not go with the full self-driving option. And we're going to be talking about that today. So for those of you who may not be aware of how like full self-driving works and why it's so expensive, in 2019, it was what, $5,000? It crept up to $7,000. In 2020, we saw it go to $8,000. And now it's at $10,000. And it may even go to $12,000.
So before we keep talking about the price, Chima, we gotta understand what full self-driving actually is. You know, everybody's been seeing Teslas. You know, some of us have seen the Teslas act like Batmobiles, which is summons itself as what is full self-driving? How does it work?
Yep.
Why do people want it? Like, is it a flex thing? Is it useful? Like, what is it? Like, how we?
Yep. So with full self-driving, basically what you get is auto park. You know, the car has the ability to park itself in an available spot. That's cool. Sometimes it doesn't work that great. You get smart summon. That means if you park in a parking lot, you go into the mall, you need the car to pick you up, summon. That's how that works. That is a flex. I'm not gonna lie. That's a flex.
Pulls up, no one's in it.
Yeah.
Get in.
Yeah, and then the last one is the navigate on autopilot, which is basically the premier feature there. Like you click navigate on autopilot, the car will take you to your destination. It'll make lane changes for you. It'll go on off ramps for you. Like it's a dope feature, and like that's the main purpose of when people pay that much money for an option is for the car to drive itself. Now the name full self driving is a little misleading because it's not actually 100% full self driving.
Yeah.
So there's a misnomer there, but I just think that a $10,000 price point for an option that doesn't even stay with you if you sell the car,
and it's not fully developed as of right now. It's just a little high, man. It's just a little high.
It's not even a little high. It's a lot high. Like
it's a software feature. See, some people may not know. In order to enable full self-driving on your car, you don't have to take it anywhere. It's really a software-enabled feature. They're not adding anything special. They're not giving you extra camera that's not on your car already. They're enabling some software, which I get it. It costs some money to develop software. But Tesla, they're taxing right now. They're taxing a little bit. They have what's the version that's not full self-driving? It's like lane assist.
See, like even the terminology, that's another tricky one right there. Because you know, there's full self-driving, and then there's autopilot. And then I know how you feel. Look, I know how you feel about the autopilot. For those of you, so Tesla now, all new Teslas come with autopilot. But if you were an early adopter, see, he's already getting upset. If you were an early adopter of Tesla, you didn't get autopilot as a standard feature.
I did not get autopilot. They did not give it to me.
I think you have to pay, what is it, $2,000?
They're trying to collect $2,000.
See, I actually, autopilot, just because I use it all the time, is it worth $2,000? Absolutely. I would get it if it was a $2,000 option.
They're not getting me. They should have gave it to me. I'm emailing what's his name, Elon.
Okay, so here's a good piggyback to that. How much do you think full self-driving should be? Because we all acknowledge we're not idiots. It's not worth $10,000. So
$10,000 is another car to some people. Like that's a whole nother
way. People, that's a lot of money. $10,000 for an option on your car that nothing actually physically changed, was just a software flick. Look, I don't know. That's just.
Listen, let's just add some context. We both work in tech. We both understand tech. We get it.
Yes.
We get it. We understand. You're paying a lot of smart people to do some smart things. It's too much right now. I can't justify it in today's day.
So what about like if full self-driving was a different type of model? Like if it was a subscription model? Because there's been talks and suggestions shown that like full self-driving will eventually be a subscription-based service. So if it's that, now now I'm entertaining it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, subscription services are in. You see that businesses everywhere doing subscription services. Even if you do have a physical product, you look like Peloton. They got a physical product. Their subscription service is still busting. You know, still doing really well.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll pay for subscription service. Depends on how much it costs.
That's the magic.
How much is it going to cost? Please, Tesla, please come up with a reasonable amount so I can flex sometimes when I need to. You know, not all the time.
Yeah, now let us know in the comments. What do you think is the appropriate price for full self-driving? If you're a Tesla owner, what do you think? Especially, I'm very curious because I know for me, I can't pay a lot. I don't want to pay a lot of money for a service that I would probably turn off a lot of the time. You know what I mean? Like, it would have to have a loose contract for me where it's like, oh, maybe I have a road trip coming up and I want to have full self-driving for that month, and it's, I don't know, $200 per month or something. Or, you know, I would pay that $100, $200 just to have it for that month, because that's basically like having a driver for that month, like, you know, while you're doing that long trip, just navigating everywhere. I can get down with that. Now, if they're gonna penalize me for canceling so many times, then I don't want that.
See, I'm thinking about it a little bit more on the business side now. Let's talk about a little bit on the business. So if you have full self-driving as a subscription model, right? Let's say at some point Uber and Lyft is letting people you know, send their car out to drive itself. Price of full self-driving, you know, if it's a little bit expensive and you know, probably costs maybe $100, $200, $300 a month, maybe worth it if your car is driving people around, making money for you. So all depends on what the full self-driving feature, which is what it sounds like Tesla wants to do in the future. If they pull that off,
the taxi service,
if they pull that off, we need a different conversation for what full self-driving can do. And now you're opening up residual income for people, so the subscription model may be worth it, you know, so they may collect their money like that. I think, you know, that's very promising for Tesla.
Yeah, I do. I think it's promising. I also think we're opening, not weird, but they're going to be opening Pandora's box when it comes to subscriptions, because we've seen it go, like look at the Adobe products, for example. We've seen it go where you used to be able to purchase the product, you can't really purchase a product anymore, and if you do, it's an inferior product. And now the only main product that you can purchase that gets updated is the subscription product. You get it? And then now it's like, you know, we all see how these Adobe packages and Creative Cloud accounts and they cost a lot of money.
They cracked the code.
Yeah.
They figured out in order to keep someone in the ecosystem, you have to keep them in the ecosystem for life.
Yeah,
so they're trying to, you know, maintain life customers.
And I wouldn't mind if Tesla adopted the subscription model as an option. I think I would mind if it was the only option. And that's why I'm curious how they play it off. But then again, I think about it, is full self-driving really going to see a price cut? Like, do we really envision a price? Like, it's gone up so many times, it's almost like unfathomable to think it'll go down.
The price cut, I don't see it happening, just because I think Elon and, you know, his team is very blinded by the high level of what it can do, you know, so they're not seeing any type of decrease in the value of it. They only seeing this can potentially cost more. Can you imagine if, you know, you send your car out for like Lyft or Uber Lux, you know, luxury, and a day is like bringing you like $300-$400 a day on, like, you know, on a Saturday night, maybe $500, you know, like just off of doing nothing. Like, it's a lot of value, man. Well, that's in the future, but apparently it's in the near future that we're gonna have driverless cars. So we shall see, man. This is very interesting. I never thought in my young 20s, you know, that this is what cars are going to advance to this fast. This is actually kind of crazy.
Yeah, that was actually my follow-up, because it's like, we're talking about full self-driving, but just the thought of it as a concept, it's pretty out there. The thought of the car just driving itself, you're not supposed to be interacting. I mean, you are supposed to guide and make sure you're okay, but that's some freaky stuff, especially for someone who's of the older generation, where it's like, maybe cruise control to you was like, whoa, what's that?
Yeah,
cruise control. Like, that may have been like insane when that came out, and now we're talking about you don't even have to touch the wheel, and the car is making lane changes and taking off ramps for you. That can be some pretty far out there stuff.
I'm not gonna lie, when I first got my Tesla, it took me a while to get used to just lane assist, you know, just the car staying in your lane. And then when I had, like, you know, the full self-driving trial that they gave me, teased it, like, you know, switching lanes, summoning your car, like, I felt like I was Batman in, you know, 2050. Like, it was really like some futuristic stuff. But it took me a while to get used to it. At first I was just like, I can't trust it switching lanes for me, coming off the ramp to, you know, sharp turns and stuff like that. I'm just like, yo, this thing is really accurate. Like, it's really, really accurate. It took me a little while. Like, I had my hand like all pressed against the wheel in case, you know, got But no, it's actually apparently it's more safer than a lot of human
Yeah,
driving.
it is. And that's what the data shows. That's what Elon constantly reminds us. But it also reminds me that like Tesla and other manufacturers are going to just keep pushing the envelope when it comes to like innovation and just the auto industry as a whole. Obviously, full self-driving is one of them. But the other things like even like what Tesla's doing now with the new Model S and X, they don't even have gear stocks. Like they don't have gear selections. It doesn't have the blinkers. It just has it on the actual steering column. That's where you put the left and right blinkers. It's just a strange diversion from what the norm has been for so many years. And it's like Tesla's being really just rocking the boat, or just shaking the room, if that makes sense. They're always shaking the room. Tesla is, and I think if other manufacturers start doing this as well, the whole auto industry may just look completely different.
Yeah, man, they're trying to make things real simple. Like even if you just get out your car without putting it in park, it just puts it in park for you. It turns off the light. You just click the brakes. Everything is on. You don't have to worry about switching, even when it rains. It's just like
that's such a good point.
It wipes everything for you. Without you clicking anything. They just want to make it simple. You get in, you get out.
That's such. I like
you
get
in, you get out. That's it.
Even when I don't know, when people get into your car and you guys both leave, sometimes I get a comment like, "Oh, you're not gonna turn it off." I'm like,
I don't know what to do. Tesla told me to get in and to get out.
It's like you have push to start. I have sit to start. Yeah. Like I sit down and I leave, and then I leave the car and the car is off. Like that's getting used to. That's just the way it works.
Very interesting.
But yeah, the one thing I can't get used to though is that price for full self-driving. I'm not paying for it. I refuse to pay. I think it's too high. Yeah. Will it ever come down? Probably not. But I think that kind of points into the direction of maybe they will move towards a subscription only model in the future. I hope they don't, but I also hope that they don't keep that price. So let's see what happens.
Until Tesla turns into Jarvis, like it really does everything for me. It picks me up from work and everything. I ain't paying for it. Yeah. I need them to upgrade it and show me all of that. But until then, they need to cut it.
Yep. So if you're buying full self-driving for $10,000, tell us why in the comments. And we would love to talk to you. Why was it worth $10,000 for you? Because it's one thing if you already have full self-driving, but if you paid it recently for $10,000, let's discuss.
Please.
But yeah, leave any and all thoughts in the comments down below. What are your thoughts? Remember to hit that like button while you're down there. Hit that subscribe button. It really does.
Share with a friend.
Yep. That helps the channel a lot. We have to please the algorithm. I'm Shima.
I'm Obina.
And we're the Secret Bros. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.